It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. I am thankful that you are hanging out with me today because I think we have a good one for you, y'all. About a month ago, our friend Ray was here, and Ray was sitting right next to me, and we looked at some music by the Pat Metheny Group. We looked at Minuano by Pat Metheny, and I was overwhelmed at how wonderful that music sounded. And so I have been eager ever since to get back to music from Pat Metheny. It is a new year, and I thought, let's get off on the right track. So today is the day. We are looking at To the End of the World by the Pat Metheny Group. This song was suggested to us by our friend Frank over on Facebook. Thank you, Frank. And here's the cool part. So when I announced this, that we were going to be doing this song on our live stream this past Sunday, I got an email the next day, which was yesterday, from Jim via email. And Jim says, hey, I've got a score for this, and I have attached it. And so that is what we are going to be using as we look at this one today. I am excited to have a chart to look at. This particular song, To the End of the World, was from Pat Metheny Group's 7th studio album, called We Live Here. It was released in 1995, the year I graduated high school. But I did not listen to this when I graduated high school, so I'm happy to catch up today. This piece, or this album, I should say, actually won the Grammy for Best Contemporary Jazz Album in 1996. This song, To the End of the World, is the longest track on the album, and like most of the music by the Pat Metheny Group, it was written by Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays. So we have Pat on guitars, Lyle on piano and keyboards, Paul Wertico is on the drums, and Steve Rodby is on the bass, and Luis Conti is on percussion. This is about a 12 minutes and 14 seconds on the ticker for how long this track is. And like I said, I've got the chart, so I'm going to pull that up as well, and we'll follow along. So let's do it, y'all. Let's dive into To the End of the World by the Pat Metheny Group. Here we go. That's cool. F over G minor is just an extended G chord. The F is the 7th, the A is the 9th, and the C is the 11th of the chord. But that's an easier way possibly to notate it. This was a repeat, so they repeated back. Cool. With the A flat over the G, kind of sounds like G Phrygian, actually. Everything is just so spacious and lovely. Let's take a little bit of liberty with the rhythm of this particular chart. But since he wrote it, I don't care. There's a bridge. Moving to the relative major for a second. All of a sudden that F sharp is pops, coming in that G major 7 chord. All of this sounds just wonderful. More melody. So this section comes back. The G, as the root of the G minor 7 chord becomes the major 7th of the A flat major 7th chord. And the extensions that you can do, like where he's working way up high, just fit into that chord very well. Okay, what happens next? Solo section. All right. And there's the decrescendo, getting softer. So we are in G, and he's going to stay in G. He's going to start in the 4 chord. And the 4s, the big 4s mean 4 measures. Two, 3, 4. Then back to C, right? So it's a 16-bar solo line that's going to repeat. Starts on the 4. Back to that G. Of course, there are alterations that they're using, but these are giving you the basic chord symbols. And then the second time, it resolves to the B flat major, to the relative major of where we were. And then it looks like they're going to change it and make it a B flat minor 7. Same root, but they change it from a major 7 chord to a minor 7 chord. There's the E natural as part of that chord. Back to B flat minor 7. Such a lovely progression that they're using. Just right down the scale. Awesome. And the G flat acts like an F sharp resolve up to the G, and then back down. Then it's like 5 to 1. G flat becomes F sharp and it's 5 to B minor. Lovely, lovely tasteful solo from Lyle here. Woo! And they just, instead of being at B minor and F sharp minor, they're B flat minor and F minor. That was slick. Bass going. Then we're going to hit on the D for this interlude. The 9th of the F chord, the root of the G chord, and the major 7th of the A flat chord. That G just works with everything in this context. And then that C works as the 3rd of both the A minor chord and the A flat chord. Alright. New solo section. Starts in G minor, goes down to flat 6. Back to 1. Go by a major 3rd. So this G minor is going to go up to the B minor. Hang on a second. So what I want to show you here is they start in G, right? And then they go from 1 down to 6, back to 1, down to 6, and then 6 down to 4, 3, flat 2, and 1. So they're in G minor for this solo section. And then it's you see the double bar, there. It just donates, or denotes, I should say, not donates, denotes a new section where it's not a normal bar line that just happens in the middle of one of these phrases. It's a new sort of section. And what they're doing is they're moving the key up by a major third, and it lands on this B minor chord. So if you think of a G minor chord, it's got a G and a B flat and a D, those three notes. Well, in the B minor chord, you still have the D, so that note stays the same. The B flat moves by a half step to B natural, and the G moves by a half step to F sharp. So just two of those three notes move by a simple half step, and we get this really cool arrival point. And that's why I think it's relatively cool to do that, especially on guitar. The fingerings are really close together. You just have to do a little minor change to get that sound to come out. We're going to keep on going. Same way they did up here. Down to 5. Down to flat 2. Same progression. Down to minor 1. Then, another major third. Now they're up from B to D sharp. Have to stop it again, my friends, because this I find interesting. So what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A 12-bar phrase where we start in G, we end up on G, and then we modulate by a major third. And we do the exact same progression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, so we get back to B minor there. And guess what? We move by another major third. So what's a major third above B? D sharp or E flat, as it relates back to Helm and G. And then this goes for another 12 measures. And then we do the exact same modulation, the exact same relationship. Each of these relationships that they're moving are major thirds from where they were. And so what's the major third above the D sharp or E flat? Back home to G. So it outlines from G to B to D sharp and then back to G, an augmented chord. How about that? It's really cool. We're going to keep rolling. Up just a step, so they're getting ready to change. That's such a neat sound. So that G becomes the minor 7th of the A and the major 7th of the A flat through this little section. And then it looks like they're going to, what is sound effects? They ain't lying. Thunder, rain. There's still some percussion that seems like it's in tempo. Okay, and that repeats, so we got to go back to the very beginning. I think they're going to keep the repeat here. Yep, goes back. So this far into the piece, after we've heard extended solos from two different types of instruments, they go back to this beginning in the main theme. melodically, he's really taking some leeway with how this motive or this melody rhythmically hits. And they're going to go to the coda, so we're going to go all the way back down here. And this is much like the opening. How much time do we have? Minute and a half. I just love the mood that this sets. It's about the same general loudness and intensity the whole way through, and it's just chugging, you know? Except for that interesting little sound effects section. I don't know, that's the only thing that sounds weird to me in this whole thing. I wonder as to why they put that in. Because honestly, I don't think they needed it. The bass work is really cool too. I mean, everybody is top notch in this. As this winds down, yeah, we're getting close. I wonder what images and emotions and ideas this sparks in you. For me, it's, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I was mainly just kind of following along to make sure that I could figure out all that they were doing. And of course, the chart is very helpful because it gives us something visual to tie onto as well. When I hear this stuff and I'm calling out things, I'm trying to envision what the notation looks like. And so I'm telling you what the imaginary notation in my head reveals. That's kind of how I do that, or kind of how I think about it. But having the chart is very helpful because it allows us just something to grab onto that reinforces what our ears are telling us. When I hear stuff like that, I think I used the adjective when I heard Pat Metheny minuano about a month ago, sublime. The mixing, the tastefulness of the playing, the very easy way that the rhythm just kind of floats, and these melodies kind of float over this. It's just cool. I really, really enjoy it. So to our friends who suggested this, to Frank who suggested this, and to Jim who sent in the chart, appreciate y'all. This was fun today. We'll get to some more Pat Metheny Group in the near future. I think if you have specific songs by Pat Metheny that you would like us to listen to, just let me know. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Thanks everybody for being with us today. This was fun. I very much enjoyed this very lovely piece of music by the Pat Metheny Group called To the End of the World. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.